do put a lot of pressure on myself.
Of course, he took 2010 off. This year we knew what we had to fix. We're on the road to a better bodybuilder.
The goal was set for me to compete in the British Grand Prix, and it's on home soil. It'll allow me to return back a bigger and better FlexLewis. My motivation is my family.
He has all that muscle. He has great genetics. Flex could be the one to win the Mr. Olympia.
In the States, you've got a lot of sugar-free stuff, fat-free things. I was never brought up on that. Getting involved with Neil, he's very old school, very limited sauces, very little sodium on his food. So we had the basic diets, very, very primitive. Less is more, so to speak. When I came to the States, of course, this whole spectrum opened up to me. You know, we don't even have sugar-free Jell-O, you know? We don't even have Crystal Light. There's no such thing as a low-carb sauce. Even the mustard over here, French's mustard over there, are full of fat.
The prep for this show has been textbook. We've never had a prep going into a show like this before, to be honest. You know, every piece of the jigsaw we put down is falling into place perfectly, to be honest with you. His diet has been adjusted and also, you know, really sort of changed his training, you know, dramatically for this show. It took me probably a good 2 months to sort of put a formulate together where we thought, right, this is definitely how your body's responding.
You know, Neil makes a game plan. And again, I follow suit with it to the T. No second guessing.
Funny story, I went to the Mr. USA. It was my first trip to Vegas, and I came back and I was all excited, which I'd never get to actually tell him, you know, hey, look at the added size I put on Neil. And Neil in his old house had these very unforgiving lights. He had me hit a couple of shots, and he said to me, what the fuck have you been eating, you fat bastard, so to speak. Needless to say, I was on that treadmill the next day, cut my carbs down, burn it off. 2 weeks later, bang on track. Only once. That's why he's as good as he is, because he's always on my ass. Just ask me, how many meals have you had? Thank goodness for modern technology, because Neil is a very hands-on person.
Gaspari has supported him emotionally. You know, we've got a new range of supplements to come out, which has definitely made a difference to him. You know, the Super Pump Max has definitely allowed him to be more focused and taken his mind away from negative activity whilst he's training. These supplements have made a difference. You know, it's not just one single thing, and of course, allowing to have more of a schedule, more of a routine instead of being interrupted because he's flying from city to city, from country to country. It's had a massive, massive impact.
4 weeks off from the show, I still got my Super Pump Max in. I still got my Size On Max in. I take my Arnovite, I have my Interpro, I have my Myofusion. That's the baseline of supplementation that I take day in, day out.
I have a great relationship with FlexLewis. Although he's our athlete, I feel he's more of a friend. He really respects me and the things that I say to him. He's now a professional. In the off season, Flex can be 240, hard as nails, looking like he only has to lose like 5 or 8 pounds.
I managed to go from around about 225 up to about 246, which I've never been that heavy before.
And then when he competes on stage, he goes down to like 190 pounds. He really believes in his head that he has to diet that hard to go into a show. But actually, I believe that he doesn't have to diet as hard because he has all that muscle, he has great genetics, that he can actually hone into that show, be bigger than ever, be harder than ever, and actually place even higher.
And that's great because he's actually gone beyond his capabilities or his genetic sort of areas which were lacking. And that's got to come down to his work ethic and his nutritionalist program, which has actually brought those muscle groups up, definitely.
Neil has noted a lot of things that I've done differently last year to make sure that we don't do this mistakes this year. And again, everything has been great. I'm really looking forward to going into this year's show with a better package. Let the diet do the job and let the cardio do the job, and everything else will fall into place.
Hi.
I started using Gaspari products about 2.5 years ago, and Flex introduced me to them. And it's very hard to find a product that you like, that works, and that tastes good.
Myself and Sean met when I was living in Franklin. He owns the gym up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and I was living in the next town over at the time. Sean will pick up the phone and he'll say, bro, have you ate that meal yet? Because he knows how bad my appetite is. And, you know, the small little things that we both do to help each other out to get to that stage. And
the food is, you know, he can constantly reminds me to eat, just like I remind him to eat. It's really a partnership when it comes to that. We really got to stay on to each other and make sure that, you know, everything's in place all the time, 24 hours a day, because bodybuilding's just not the 2 hours that you're in the gym. We try to be there for each other, not only inside the gym, but outside of the gym also, reminding each other, because everybody knows how easy it is to get off routine and not pay attention to the important things, and that one meal could make all the difference.
The last time Sean competed, he won the Tennessee Intermediate. And now, as of last year, he won the overall Mr. Tennessee, which is a massive achievement and a huge achievement for the gym also. The
biggest thing with Flex and my gains, I put on right around 20 pounds of muscle since I've been working with him. And I hope to put on a lot more. You see better gains with me every year working with him.
Well, Sean is a very successful businessman and he's very headstrong. We are very much alike, but yet so different also.
This is not all about bodybuilding. You know, we definitely go out and do things. Of course, when he's not in contest prep, our girls are friends, so they constantly, you know, go out together. We all go out as groups. A lot of black ops and things of that nature. You know, things that we can do to where we can, you know, stay in and get our meals, because that's important 100% of the time to us.
In the last, say, couple of weeks, due to my appetite, I've been able to get away with having a protein shake with a cup of oats and a banana in the morning. That would be my normal meal. Now come close to the show, my metabolism is through the roof. We've just changed over from protein shakes to some solid meals. I still have my protein shakes after the workouts. Today, 10 egg whites, a scoop of Interpro, carbohydrates, a cup of oats and a banana, which is probably about 90 grams of carbohydrates. Protein is around about 65 grams. With the additional Splenda and everything else, that's pretty much only put in this meal. It's the favorite meal of the day, so I'm gonna get into this.
I mean, I talked to him as a friend, and he actually says he doesn't feel like he's dieting unless he's suffering. And as a pro, you don't have to suffer.
I have the tendency to over diet in a lot of my shows just because I do go in gun-ho and then pain myself holding that condition. But the difference being this year is with my added new muscle tissue, I've come down very, very slow. I'm not very nervous about not making the weight because I know I'll make the weight. You know, I've already got shredded glutes. I know I've got to lose a little bit of muscle tissue. To be standing against the guys who beat me last time, you know, I knew I had to make certain improvements in this off-season. And I've significantly targeted certain key areas such as my chest and my back.
The only person that can defeat Flex is himself. If he goes into that show and he basically thinks that he has to work too hard, where he ends up overtraining, is a thing that he has to not do. And this is where Neil, if he watches him and guides him, he'll be able to tell him like to slow down on the training or slow down on the cardio or eat more or fill out a little bit. And if he can do that, he can go into this show and win this show.
It's 10 to 1 in the morning. I like to come in the sauna and loosen up actually after you know, a long day of dieting. I'll probably be in here now for the next 15, 20 minutes, and then after that I'll do some pauses and I'll have a good sweat on, and then I'll probably tan, shower up and hit the sack and start it all over again tomorrow. The British Grand Prix has been put on for the first time in 8 years, so it's exciting for me to actually step back on stage, having some time off in front of my home fans, and this is going to be a crazy show.